Hi all, my name is James and I'm a fantasy football addict and I'm an avid gambler. I've been playing fantasy football now for around 5 years with average finishes. But this year I'm doing things a bit differently. I'm basing the majority of my decisions on the bookies' odds. As I'm sure you guys know, the bookies are multi-million pound companies and they win far more than what they lose. Therefore I'm going to analyse their prices to help myself and you guys with your FPL decisions. So in this video I'm going to talk about two main talking points. First of all, how we can look at the odds to help us choose our captaincy pick, and also how the odds can help us influence us pick our goalies if we have rotating goalies, and our defenders based on obviously the odds they fancy that team keeping a clean sheet. So first we'll start with the captaincy choice. So here we're going to look at some of the favourites for this game week's choices and compare them odds and scoring. Now I've got the favourites for these people scoring from the FPL Scout poll. Every week they put a poll out to the community and obviously just random people on the site to who they fancy is going to be their captaincy pick. So these are 5 favourites so far. So first of all we have King Mohamed Salah. Second of all we have Prince Sergio Aguero. Third of all we have Sadio Mane. Fourth of all we have Harry Kane. And last but not least, we have Benjamin the Joker Mendy. Now then, so the betting company I'll be looking at the odds from will be the Betfair Sportsbook. I'm using that as just a regular indicator, so I know you might find some firms will have better odds, worse odds. I'm just going to keep it consistent and be using them. So the odds I'm going to read to you now is just purely on that website and will be throughout the whole season. So first let's look at the Man City players. Sergio Aguero to score any time against Huddersfield at home is 5 on. And that means if I was to put £50 on Aguero to score any time, I would get £10 profit if he was to score. To me that's indicating that Betfair very, very heavily fancy him to score any time. Interesting. Second of all, we've got Mendy. Anytime, he's 8 to 1 to score any time. Now for a defender, I think that's very, very short. So they're also appreciating his attacking options from what they've seen against Arsenal. Second of all, we're going to look at the clean sheet price for Man City. Man City to keep clean sheet at home to Huddersfield is 4 to 7. So if you just put £70 on Man City to keep a clean sheet, you get 40 profit. So you take 110 back. Now we're going to look at the Liverpool players. Liverpool away at Crystal Palace. Salah is 2 on to score any time against Crystal Palace. So that means if you put £100 on Salah to score any time, you get 50 profit. So he's odds on, so they fancy him to score. Not as much as Aguero, but they fancy him to score. Now let's look at Sadio Mane. He's 7 of 5 to score any time against Crystal Palace, which for me is the best price. Not only because it's the biggest, but not only has he just scored a brace, but he could be on penalties, and obviously the form doesn't have to, it just speaks for itself. So you put £50 on Mane, you get £70 profit. Now last but not least, we're going to talk about Harry Kane. Harry Kane to score any time at home to Fulham, he's 4 on. So he's not as short as Sergio Aguero, but the bookies do really fancy him to score any time. So if he is in your team, and I know some people will think he's not fit from the World Cup, he's got a bit of a hangover from that, and people just don't think he doesn't score in August. The bookies really fancy him to score any time at home to Fulham. Interesting. However, my captain for this week, not only because of the odds, but just purely because of the fixture, and I'm not having that one chance against Arsenal ruin my opinion of it, will be Sergio Aguero. Now let's look at the odds for the clean sheets and how we can help ourselves with obviously picking that right goalie if we do have them 2 4.5 goalkeepers, or if we have a defender that we might need to bench or not bench, depending obviously what we're going to look at now. So for the fact of rotation, we'll be looking at some mid-price goalkeepers. So the games I'm going to look at now is West Ham against Bournemouth. West Ham to keep a clean sheet, for those that have Fabianski, they're 2-1 to keep a clean sheet. So they're not odds on to keep a clean sheet. But again, if you have Fabianski, it's not mainly for the clean sheets. It is and it isn't, but he has so many bonus points and he does have so many saves, which obviously make the bonus points. And then Bournemouth to keep a clean sheet is 10-3. So if you put £3 on, you get £10 profit. So yeah, they're less likely to keep a clean sheet away than West Ham. So I know a few people have the Bournemouth goalie. Let's move on to Everton, Southampton. Everton to keep a clean sheet, which I think is actually very interesting. They're 5-4, which for me is too short. I know they're at home and Southampton score many goals. I'll explain why I think they're a bit too short. But yeah, they're not odds on, but the bookies do see him as a potential chance of keeping a clean sheet. I know Southampton don't score many goals, but Southampton to keep a clean sheet. I know some people were blessed by having McCarthy, that 11-point drop. They're 3-1 to keep a clean sheet away at Everton. So does that make your decision if you have McCarthy or Fabianski? It says here that West Ham are more likely to keep a clean sheet at home to Bournemouth than Southampton are to Everton, which I totally agree on. It's just if you do have that rotation, you can always look at this as an indicator. Next, we'll look at Burnley-Watford. Burnley are 7-5 to keep a clean sheet at home. Again, a great home record last year. Don't concede many goals. So you put 50 quid on Burnley to keep a clean sheet, you get 70 profit, 120 back. And Watford to keep a clean sheet, they're just under 2-1, so they're 15-8. So obviously they're not saying that Watford can't keep a clean sheet, but I know some people do have Foster, and they did keep a clean sheet last week. So it's all about that rotation goal. If you've not gone from a premium goalkeeper like the likes of De Gea or Edison, then these are the decisions that you need to be making, and this may indicate or may help you pick which one. So at the moment, the shortest price would be obviously the Burnley, but for those brave ones that have gone with Joe Hart, hats off to you. But yeah, Watford just under 2-1, West Ham 2-1, so they're more likely than West Ham, and Southampton, they're 3-1, so just a bit better than Bournemouth. So your best price there is your Burnley, but then Everton is also even more. They're 5-4. Now, what I was talking about with Everton is they're 5-4, and to me that's too short because Spurs are 11-10, and that's very similar in odds. And I fancy Spurs to keep a clean sheet at home to Watford a lot more than Everton at home to Southampton. I mean, I do fancy Everton to keep a clean sheet, but you never know with them. But yeah, so that's it really. We're just looking at how, if we do have rotation of goalies, how we can look at maybe just this as an indicator to see how it can benefit us. And again, if we can have any small edge over our rivals in our mini leagues, in our game week rank, then we'll take it, won't we? So thank you very much, and I'll be back again next week.